Hello and welcome to Cartoon Drawing Studio. Today we're going to be drawing a special flying unicorn, a Toot unicorn. But before we begin, I'd like to ask you to please like and share the video. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate your support and I love drawing with you guys. Okay, so grab your materials, paper, pencil, and ink pens, and let's get started. In order to draw our Toot unicorn, we're going to start as usual with his head. And in order to draw the head, we are going to start with a circle. You can also think about this as a sphere. It's kind of blocking in where we're going to draw the head. Next, I'm going to go ahead and draw kind of like the sideways oval. And that's going to be kind of like the snout of this horse-like unicorn character. All right, moving right along. For his body, we're going to use our favorite shape, which is this bean shape. So I'm thinking about this bean shape being bigger at the bottom and skinnier at the top. Okay, this is his bottom area right here, and this is the top area. Perfect for our Toot unicorn. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and map out his arms and legs. So I'm going to start with this back leg here. This is essentially where it attaches to his body. Then it's going to go straight down, and that's pretty much it. And this is going to be his hoof right there. The other leg is going to be somewhere back here, and then it's going to bend up. There's his knee, and down, and this is essentially his hoof back here. Perfect. Now his arms. Here's one shoulder. It's gonna go sideways. There's the elbow. Then we're gonna come down, and here is his hand or his hoof. And finally, we're gonna have this arm right here, and it's gonna go straight up, and that's gonna be his other hoof right there. So right now we're just trying to map out the pose or position of our character. All right, and one more thing for this special Toot unicorn is we're gonna have him tooting. So there's gonna be essentially, this is kind of like a rectangle that I'm taking and squeezing here in the middle. So it's coming out this way and then coming out that way. And then this area down here is going to be like a cloud of special rainbow air that he's leaving, or she is leaving behind. So I'm thinking about the shape on this end, and I'm thinking about the shape on that end. Almost like if you've ever seen a takeoff from NASA, those rockets that take off, they leave this cloud of dust. And really there's no right or wrong way to do this, because each of yours can be different. But the most important thing to remember is the rectangle bending in, and then maybe larger areas on the outside, because that cloud of dust is going out. Perfect. All right, so now this is our first pass. See how quickly we block this in? So now we know we're on track. Now we're gonna go back and we're gonna add our second pass. So I'm gonna start with the face, and if you didn't do this already, let's do it now, where we're gonna divide this sphere. That way we know where the eyes are gonna go. So I'm gonna have one eyeball on this side, which is an oval, and another eye on that side, which is another oval. And I'm gonna have those pupils looking up because he is taking off, getting ready to fly. So I want his pupils looking up. All right, so next up, we're gonna go ahead and give him his ear. And it's kind of like this kind of shape, like a football shape. And then on the inside, we have this line for the inner part of the ear. Great. And now this is a beautiful, and let's give him some eyebrows too. So there's one eyebrow. Here's the other eyebrow. When I draw the eyebrows, I make a bigger oval so I find out where the top of the eyebrow is gonna be. Great. And now we're gonna give this beautiful unicorn some flowing hair. So on the front end, I'm gonna think about a curl maybe. This wavy hair curl on the front. So it's kind of like, here's the shape, two mountains and a curl down here, because I want to give him a beautiful curling hair. And then we're gonna have right coming out here of the middle of the head, we're gonna go ahead and give him his unicorn horn. So that's basically this comb shape that we've drawn out right there. And now the long flowing hair in the back is also something that is a little bit more organic, the flowing hair. So I'm doing one mountain, another mountain, and maybe a curl here at the end. And then I'm having that curl down back here. Perfect. And before we continue mapping out the arms, let's go back to the head. And I forgot to give him nostrils. There's one nostril. Here's the other nostril. And I want to make him smiling with a big happy unicorn smile. So I pulled the smile out of the front of the nose. There's the smile right there. And then here is the bottom of the jaw. Perfect. So we've got the top of the head is pretty much done. Now we're gonna fill in the arms. So let's start with this arm over here. I'm gonna fill out the top of the arm and then the bottom of the arm. These are basically rectangles. One rectangle this way, another rectangle this way. We can also think of those as cylinders. And here is his hoof, but I'm having his hoof bend out like this, almost like he has his knuckles on his hip, because we're trying to give him, some human qualities. So the knuckles down there, and then we're gonna come to this end. This one's gonna go up. Notice how I'm having it get thicker at the base. And then for the hoof, we're also gonna give him kind of like a finger thing here. So here's one little finger, and here is the rest of the hoof bent down like this. So we had our guide there, so I gave him a little finger and then the rest of the hoof. And now it looks like his fist is closed up as he's getting ready to fly. All right, perfect. Now we're gonna continue down here with the legs. So we're gonna have the leg thicker at the base, get skinnier at the bottom, thicker at the base, skinnier at the bottom. And now the hoof here is gonna be simple. It's gonna be this kind of, it's round at the bottom, but it's kind of like this rectangle shape too. Now on this end, rectangle going up, rectangle coming down, and the same thing, a hoof, which is a rectangle with the bottom rounded out. Okay, looking good, this unicorn so far. We're gonna give him a little bit of a different shape on the belly. So I'm adding on, so if I divide this bean in half that we drew at the beginning, right, his body's to the side. So here is the side of the belly, bent a little bit to the side. And now we're gonna come back here and we're, just like we did the hair, we're gonna give him a beautiful flowing tail. So here's the mountain shape coming down and curling at the end. We're going to come around. He's got a thicker in the middle, and then it connects to the base of his bottom. Here is the curling shape. Perfect. So, and then last but not least, if we want to add some details down here, we can to the smoke. Because my plan is for this smoke to kind of be in different colors. So I'm just kind of giving some organic, you know, cloud puff here. There's one in the front. Here's one in the back. So this one's in the front. This one's in the back. Maybe some little ones breaking apart from the main one here. Perfect. And the same thing on the other end. Coming down like this. We are going to go ahead and have one big main one here. Maybe a little one breaking out here in the front. And then one back here. And maybe some little ones popping out right there. We always want to try to work in odd numbers, not even. There's 3 there, and I got 5 on this side. It makes our drawing a little bit more interesting. And one last detail I'm going to add to this unicorn is I'm going to have these kind of like waves going throughout the tail and the hair. Notice how I broke that up. I want it to look like it's flowing out, and the same thing up here. Here's one, here's another one, and I'm planning on, there's no wrong way to do this. Your drawing can be different from mine. Doesn't have to be exact. Your flying unicorn can look different. These are original characters we're drawing, so you can use mine as a guide, but ultimately you're making your own. So at this point, I'm done sketching out my flying, tooting unicorn. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my kneaded eraser, and I'm just gonna knock back this drawing because I'm getting ready to ink it now. So I'm knocking this back a little bit, just so you guys can see. This is my kneaded eraser that I can roll up like a rolling pin and just knocking back this drawing. And I'm doing this so you guys can now see in the next step where I make my final decisions for my inked drawing. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my ink pen, and you guys can follow along at home and make your final decisions on your inked drawing. All right, great. That is the inking part. So now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my eraser, and I am going to get rid of my pencil work. Working like this gives you a ton of flexibility. You can make a lot of changes in the pencil phase, working with simple shapes first to build your characters and draw from your imagination. There's really no way to mess up doing it like this. And that completes our unicorn drawing. We can now add a little bit of color. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed drawing the unicorn with me. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, Have fun and keep on drawing, my friends. I'll see you next time.